A sea monster ate my ice cream. A sea monster ate my ice cream. Ah!
Hello. Hello again. Hello. Hello again.
We're going back in time, counting down the top 80 songs from the greatest pop music decade in the history of human civilization, the 1980s. You're listening to the 80 of the 80s podcast with your hosts, DJ CK1 and AK47.
You left the scene without a trace. One hand on the ground, one hand in space.
The most important thing that's happening right now is I'm in the mode.
You're in the mode?
The Depeche Mode.
Yes.
Yes, that's not our song choice, but they just announced their North American tour,
Yes.
and they're coming to Nashville.
Yes.
Yay! Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm wired. I'm not going to sleep tonight. It's
Right.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm wired. What the hell's wrong with you?
Concerts are kind of expensive.
I don't give a crap how much this costs.
The mode is kind of getting up there in the years, and they're probably going to play a lot of their new material. And
They might, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
speaking of,
I'm going to do absolutely everything I possibly can to get an interview.
okay,
Everything I can. You want to see my boobs? Let me know. They're yours.
it might take a little bit more than that to get an interview
I
with
know
Morgan Gore.
I know
you know
they see boobs all the time.
Yeah.
Mine are not special.
Maybe I
but
could show my
this is getting a little out of hand here.
Okay.
I was just joking, but gosh, what better band to interview than Depeche Mode?
Okay, do you want
I
to
have
tell
so many questions.
all the DM fans out there who are listening? And I swear we'll get to song number 49 here in a minute, but
You've been kept down. You've been pushed around.
their new song, "Where's the Revolution?" It's like they're singing about some kind of political revolution, and in the video they have like this Marxist imagery. I don't know, maybe they're poking fun at socialism.
Where's the revolution? Come on, people, you're letting me down.
But then they're like such freaking money grubbing
You can't say
profiteers.
shit like that. Then they won't
Right.
they won't agree to an interview.
Well, if they hear this, no, but I'm just saying that I think there's nothing wrong with like wanting to make money and stuff. But I'm just saying it's a little bit of a hypocrisy if there's if they're trying.
They're
to do all-
allowed.
yes,
They are allowed.
They deserve all the money, everything that
Absolutely.
they get. But I mean, if you're freaking acting like a commie and stuff, crying foul about the grabbing hands, grab all they can, the Adam Smith invisible hand and stuff. See what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, but maybe they're poking fun at the
But-
whole political thing.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited about that. I just wanted to let everybody know. I'm sure by the time you hear this podcast, you already know. But in case you haven't heard, check it out. They're doing a pretty big tour, so they might be coming close to you.
Well, what are they doing? The way that they're selling tickets.
Oh. So scalpers, apparently that's a really big issue with tickets, whatever. So they're doing a thing that's a little different to where you actually have to sign up early and book a place in line for like a ticket purchase. And then they email you. You have to respond back to the email and confirm it. That marks your place in line. They will notify you officially in a week of your exact place in line because people are going to back out. People aren't going to confirm email, stuff like that, And then, I know it's confusing, isn't it?
Yes.
And then they are going to email you a specific date and time frame and email you a certain code. And then you go on at that time frame that they give you and you're allowed to purchase your tickets.
Well, it's because they care about the common man or the common
No,
fan.
I think it's fantastic
Yeah.
because there are many, many concerts that I know people who weren't able to get tickets to because of scalpers. And these people, they buy these tickets, they're standing out on the street. I mean, I've been to many, many concerts, and you're walking down the road, and it's just, hey, buy these tickets. I'm like, you jerk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You took tickets from somebody who really wanted to go. And how many tickets are lost to scalpers?
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Fight the system.
Where's the revolution?
It is a little bit of a different way about purchasing, but the cool thing is their new album Spirit, if you purchase their album, then that actually bumps your place up in line significantly. I recommend buying their album anyway. They're a great band. Let's support them.
I don't know. I mean, based on Delta Machine, and it seems like they're kind of devolving into this. I mean, I love the synth sounds that they use, but they're what?
I'm trying to get an interview here.
Okay.
Quit.
Maybe I could ask him, like, dude, what's up with all this bluesy Americana kind of stuff going on? Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. Wait, we're in the 40s now, right? Okay.
I'm not in the 40s. You're almost pushed your...
There's been a lot of hype and speculation, and people are really on the edge of their seats because they know that there's been this internal debate going on in the board as to what the best...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at the nominees.
What the 49th song, which...
The Cars!
Okay, it's going to be a Cars song, as you can probably see by the title, right? But it's kind of like the Vatican. The board kept reconvening and then arguing and disbanding.
In other words, he has split personality.
There was smoke, we were burning like dark smoke for if it was going to be Hello Again, or we were going to burn green smoke if it was going to be Drive.
That's a great song.
Do we have the envelope right now? Because we're going to reveal what the number 49th song is on our countdown. Our favorite song by the Cars is...
your favorite song.
Well, what's your favorite song by the Cars?
I don't have a favorite Cars song.
Because they have so many good ones, you just kind of...
We'll get into me later. Let's find out what the
Okay, let's
song
open
is.
the envelope.
You open it. You do the honors. Open it and read it.
All right.
This is your...
And the winner is...
The number 49th song.
This has been a wacky night, hasn't it? The winner is...
We know it's by the Cars, and they're
That
here
does
to...
not sound like an envelope opening.
The number 49th song, as voted on by the board and compiled by the Gobotron 2000,
And the winner is...
The Cars, You Might Think. But you kept it going.
You Might Think. The number 49 trophy, 49 of the 80 of the 80s countdown. You might think it's like one of the freakiest, catchiest songs ever, I think.
You might think it's a good song.
Yes. No, but the video got played a lot, but deservedly so, because it's probably like one of the top 10 music videos of all time. I know I use the word iconic a lot. But it is iconic. It was very early in the computer animation production. Remember those National Enquirer commercials?
Why do top psychics predict that Joan Collins will shake up Dynasty with an explosive book? Bert will get acupuncture in Peking. Dolly will get a new TV habit. Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
A spaceflight for Miami Vice stars. A volcano that erupts diamonds.
Those commercials?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. The advertising company, Charlex, was able to throw those together very quickly because they had a new commercial for every week of the National Enquirer.
Bill Cosby lost at sea. Lucille Ball brings back I Love Lucy. This week's National Enquirer tells you.
Because it's going to get those gossip-hungry housewives who are kind of stuck at home. They have no one to chat about in their social life, so they want to know what's going on with the celebrities and stuff.
It's really sad.
Right.
I don't mean to judge anyone, but like that's like that Housewives shows. What are they called?
Yeah, I mean, now we have TMZ.
Yeah, that stuff is just, it's so sad to me.
Okay, so I'm going off on tangent about National Enquirer. A program developed called the Quantel Paint Box.
In 1981, Quantel sparked off a revolution. The new artistic freedoms it brought were eagerly seized on by a fast-growing band of graphic designers. The vehicle for this revolution was the Quantel Paint Box. The idea of painting with light had become a reality.
And allowed a very quick processing of computer graphics and art.
Yes.
During the 80s, the paint box has become the designer's choice, the classic paint box.
The director's video used this program. I mean, just from the beginning, we have the gears flying around stuff, and it goes in Rick Ocasek's head. And I'm sure a lot of people probably never even heard of Rick Ocasek before. Granted, Shake It Up was a hit, but this was like kind of before MTV was national mainstay and got a lot of eyes and recognition. So just that scene where the stuff falls into Rick Ocasek's head, and he starts singing, and you're like, who is this weirdo? He's very cartoonish.
Yeah.
He's not the typical like sexy guy rock and roller. He's a very quirky and weird and unique. He kind of has a David Byrne vibe going on there, and so anyway, so I just think that kind of like stood out, and it's kind of went into the national consciousness. It was a really hilarious video.
It's a great video.
Yeah, cutting edge computer graphics. And wait a second, the Robotron's saying something right now.
Negative. There is an error.
What?
I was given insufficient data. This does not compute.
What the heck?
It's like you might think. What is it?
This does not compute. Hello Again is the featured song.
It's Hello Again.
Hello again.
What?
Oh, we thought because of the awesome video, you might think, but no, it's Hello
actually,
Again.
I'm relieved because I think Hello Again's a better song. You might think. I do think. Yes. I'm not crazy about any song of theirs, but Hello Again's, it's catchy. I'm not a Cars fan.
I know.
A little.
Made the point several
No. I
times
mean, like
already,
some bands or artists, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
The Cars, I'm like, when they're on, I kind of bob my head a little bit, but they're not. I don't seek them out to listen to them.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
glad.
I mean, Hello Again was their fourth top 20 hit off of the 1984 album Heartbeat City. It's a smorgasbord
I love that word, even though I can't say it.
of sounds. I mean, this is 1984. I've often said that So is one of the best produced albums of the 80s, and I think that this is a good rival, right? It's produced by Robert John Mutt Lange, who also produced Def Leppard.
You can hear some similarities,
I have a
actually.
list of all of the albums that Mutt Lange produced. I mean, you can go down the list. See, you got AC/DC.
Oh, no, Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
Shania Twain.
Billy Ocean, he did Get Out of My Dreams, Get in My Car. He did, yeah. But
Michael Bolton. Oh, sorry,
okay,
dude,
no,
you're
I know
losing me.
it's yeah. And then we got Nickelback, and Maroon 5, and Muse. It's still, I think you have to admire his skill.
well,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy who's maybe not such a great looking guy who married Shania Twain, and then cheated on her with some less attractive lady, and
I mean, who does that?
I don't know.
But you don't know what was happening in their marriage.
Yeah,
You could be married to someone who's really, really hot, but if you don't connect and they never put out, you're gonna go elsewhere.
Well, interestingly, the girl that Mutt hooked up with was married to a guy who, after their divorce, later this guy married Shania Twain.
Yeah, I think I remember.
They did
something
flip.
like that.
Yeah, they did a little switcheroo.
I'm not meaning to imply that Shania Twain was a bad wife or anything. I'm just saying you never know.
This Mutt Lange guy, though, you had to admire his supersonic, glossy production. I mean, just listen. The Hello Again is just like 3.5 minutes, but there's just so much packed in it. I mean, you got Greg Hawkes, his Kaleidoscope Circus Extravaganza keyboard show. There's so many different melodies. It switches up so many times. There's so many little different parts. You got bridges. You've got a really weird part where the sounds are all choppy and chopped up. It sounds like a tape is being all mixed up. And then it goes into a really quirky flute-like keyboard solo. And then you get another bridge.
Electric, loose, eclectic. You wanna call it true?
Kind of, it's awkward. You feel like you're stumbling, and then suddenly, bam! You're hello again. Yeah.
Standing in the rain.
And you're like, this is supersonic pop at the max. And I can just imagine, because it took 3 years between the 81 Shake It Up album and then this one in 84. Maybe you're waiting around, and suddenly you might think pop up on MTV, and you're like, yes, the Cars are back. And then you buy the album, you pop in the disc, and it's Hello Again is the first thing that comes up. And yeah, and actually Heartbeat City, the whole album is just magical. It's magic. Mm-hmm. It's got so many great pop tunes. Rick Ocasek, pop songwriting genius. Granted, a lot of his songs sound very similar. He has like kind of a distinct sound. Since he was in the Cars back in '78, his songwriting style hasn't changed that much. He's often writing about songs about love and love gone wrong or something like that. And he seems like he's kind of just fishes for words that rhyme.
Accessing Rick, a classic audio archive.
I write songs about relationships, people in their relationships, because nothing to me is more important than, the relationships people have with each other. And that's sort of what makes us, that's what we live for. And, we don't live for like news headlines and sensational things that, the press makes up for us to, get upset about. And, to me, political music is almost the same as pop music. It might be relevant for the moment that you hear it, but a year later, it's just as disposable as any pop music is. It depends on whether you write, songs about what you read in the paper, or you write songs about, people who have to live with other people and are still trying to figure out how to do it, And that's what I try to do, write songs about people.
But he loves pop music. He loves the pop format. So
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. What did you think about the Hello Again video?
Okay. I know I talk about hair all the time.
Yeah.
And this is an 80s podcast, so you're talking about 80s hair. I mean, it's just, why bother on one hand? But I can't help it. His hair, poofy. Looks like a flower is going to sprout out of his head. Or it's going to grow eyes and it's going to be some little fuzzball thing. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird, but he's kind of a strange guy.
And he needs sideburns in a really bad way.
Yes, and what was really bad was in 91, for the video Rockaway, you can see he still hasn't let his sideburns grow out, but he's let the hair in the back of his head grow out. So he's got got the poofy thing plus the mullet going on.
Achy breaky heart type mullet thing going on.
Not quite that extreme. But still, he looks...
I can't believe I remembered that. Wow, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like at this point he had married Paulina, so he's just like, I don't even have to try anymore.
I have to say, I can say all I want to about him, but he bagged her. Way to go.
Right.
Good for him.
And that's the thing. Like, I listened to some Paulina interviews. I listened to several interviews with Rick Ocasek. They're very charming.
Charming?
They seem like cool people.
We spend a good amount of time playing video games together, of course, because I like them and he likes them, and we paint together and we go out to amusement parks.
They seem like they're kind of down to earth, but they're kind of smart and philosophical about things.
The Rick Ocasek definition of rock and roll.
Rock and roll is absurd. It's like, you stand up and scream into a piece of metal and bash your hands on some, piece of wood with a bunch of strings on it. I mean, scream to people and say words, It's like you can minimalize it down to nothing. But ultimately, it has an effect on people. And, I think we're all just generally affected by music. It's a funny thing to have in life.
So I guess they're kind of like philosophical, but they're not snobby or pretentious about it.
That's good.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out what's his secret, because here's Rick Ocasek, who he'll say himself, "I'm a scary looking man."
I don't think he's scary.
I'm 6'3". I'm incredibly pale. I got this Adam Apple that'll poke your eye out. He didn't say that, but that's what it looks like. Yes. He has to wear sunglasses to take the edge off there, right? And so he's definitely a beta guy, and he married the top alpha woman of all ever, or at least of the decade. Listening to her interviews, she just said that she's looks for the inner beauty or someone who has interest in love.
I've very rarely actually been attracted to people with a standard physical beauty. I find myself far more attracted to people that radiate a sex appeal or a mystery about them. And they don't usually do that if they're very conventionally handsome, because then they seem to know it, and then the power of that mystery is gone, Then they're just narcissistic and vain, and that's about the most boring thing I could think of, male or female. Right. It always seems, I'm always more attracted to people that seem unaware of their looks, or that don't really care about their looks.
You said, "I'm so sick of looking good. I can't wait to go home and look like a slob." Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I like to wake up in the morning and put my glasses on and my hair up in the bun and wear my sweats, and sit and play Nintendo. After a week like this, I like to do that. It's like my dream now.
No, she's like me. She likes the weird, nerdy guy. And no offense, but that's me. The wallflower, the guy standing there with the weird shoes. That's the guy that I look at.
In that movie, The Faculty, at the end where Elijah Wood makes out with the cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing that in the theater, and everyone was like, oh, yeah, right. That could never happen, but it happens sometimes.
He's sort of a very female man, and I mean that in a very, as a high compliment, because he's somebody who communicates and who dares to be sensitive. And I've always been a sucker for men like that.
Yes, word, sensitive.
Yes, I would pick the sensitive guy, always.
You wussy beta man, geeky, dorky, whatever, listening out there, it can happen to you too.
Well, I didn't mean
Have
it
the
like
faith. You can
I'm
you can
hot.
meet your alpha lady. Yeah,
That's not what I meant.
Okay.
But I just meant
Yeah,
she
you
likes
are.
nerdy guys. Well, thank you, but
Yes.
that's not what I meant. Okay,
Right.
anyway.
No, but
moving on.
that, and then, well, another thing she said that she always had a thing for Spock. And
Yes.
when she saw the You Might Think video, she said it was love at first sight. So even though they met on the set of the second Cars single off of that album, Drive, she fell in love with him just by seeing them on the video before that.
Yeah. I think I just really got lucky.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good for them. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break on the Cars Talk. Vroom, vroom. I think it's time for a secret word. Hey, Gobotron, we need a secret word.
Negative. You may insert your hard disk into your A drive.
Did he just tell you to screw yourself?
I guess so. Oh, well. No secret word for today.
All right.
This is going to be a little promotion for us. We are the 80 of the 80s podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to our website, 80ofthe80s.com. 80S. I always mess it up.
I think you guys know how to spell 80 of the 80s,
Yeah.
but since he's putting a paper in front of my face,
Yes,
I will
you
read it. 80OFTHE. 80s.com. 80 of the 80s.
We have a new look. Just tonight, I've implemented a new design for the site. We kind of were in the 21st century now, our website style. It works well with the mobile device. Check that out. But on the kind of towards the top with the second paragraph or the description, you'll see a link. You can click there. It's on a survey. Please go there, fill out the survey. You can keep it anonymous. Basically, 8 questions. It helps us to find out what our demographics are, just so we might be able to branch out a little bit and get some advertising. So we're looking into that because we're getting enough listeners to where we can maybe support ourselves with the show a little bit, and then maybe we can devote more time.
That's what I was going to say.
every month.
We
It would be
want
great
to
if
do
we-
more podcasts.
It'd be great if we could do
Yeah.
one. Right now, we've been doing one at the beginning of every month. It'd be great if we could do one every couple weeks. So,
Maybe even more than that.
maybe even more than that. So you can help us out. You can help us
Yeah.
get there. Go to our website, 80the80s.com. Click on the link, fill out the survey. Another link you can do, if that's too difficult to you, you can remember this one. It's beam.to/80 survey. So that's beam.to/80survey. Beam.to/80 survey.
I think 80 of the 80s.com is probably
Maybe
easier.
so. Maybe
but
that might not be able to find the link on the page.
Maybe not, but it's a tad frustrating because we see how many downloads we get, so we know we have a lot of people listening. Hey, I am open to criticism, so if we're doing something wrong, let us know. If we're doing something right, let us know.
You can also email us.
You can email us,
80 of the 80s at gmail.com. Okay, let's get back to talking about the cars.
Yes, let's go back to cars. Remember?
Yes, and I always thought they had one of the most boring band names.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of like that group Bread.
No.
You never heard the group Bread?
No.
Yeah, there's
That's
one.
pretty lame, though.
It is, yeah. So it's just kind of like a very everyday common. The drummer David Robinson came up with the name because, well, he's into cars. He's into pinup models and all that Americana stuff. He kind of influenced the style. The group has kind of like a throwback 1950s image. You can also maybe hear that in some of their music too. Has kind of a rockabilly vibe to it.
Maybe a little.
It's like kind of a hybrid between that rockabilly sound, but then it's got Greg Hawkes has a very futuristic vision. The guitarist Elliot Ellison, he doesn't overdo it. He's very concise with his guitar solos. It's like maybe like a 20, 30-second guitar solo, 10 seconds sometimes even. Just a few bars, but it's very satisfying. And it's a kind of melody that fits in with the key of the whole song. Mm-hmm. Yes. This was very much the beginning of the New Wave, and this was the first successful band from the New Wave movement. So they get lumped in with Blondie and Talking Heads. There's Suicide and Television, and a lot of those groups that, you had the prog rock going on in the 70s, you had the disco and soul and funk going on in the 70s, but these were groups that we liked the shorter pop singles that we grew up on in the 50s and 60s. The guitar and the synthesizer matched so well. There was not like one really dominant instrument in the group. And I mean, I haven't even mentioned Ben Orr, who I think is a better singer than Rick Ocasek.
Oh, I agree.
Right.
Absolutely, I agree.
And see, Rick Ocasek will say that too, and yet why does Rick Ocasek sing 2/3 of the songs? Granted,
because he's quirky and weird and people like him.
It stands out. It's very unique. When you hear his voice on the radio, you can tell that's him. Also, Rick Ocasek writes all the songs. That's one of the things when the group got together. He and Ben were friends for like 15 years before that or something. They were playing in bands for over a decade. But Rick Ocasek said, with this group, I'm going to be the songwriter. And Greg Hawkes sometimes writes a little bit here and there, but most of the demos came from Rick. Rick said that if a song had more of a stronger melody, if it was less of maybe a herky-jerky rocker, he wanted Ben Orr to be the vocalist. And there were solo projects as well in the 80s. Every member except for the drummer, had a solo project. Benjamin Orr, his solo album, The Lace, is actually not too bad. He writes the song and does most of the instruments on that album. It's a very smooth sailing, relaxing, 80s yuppie bachelor pad kind of vibe to it.
Makes you think like Miami Vice type?
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's almost on the edge of being mid-tempo Christian rock sounding.
Ooh.
But I guess it beats your expectations. And then Rick Ocasek's album from '86, This Side of Paradise, is pretty much another Cars album because we have all the members of the Cars are on that album playing most of the instruments.
Originally, my intent was to not have any of the Cars on it. Not for any reason except that I thought, why should I? I mean, I'm doing this record on my own, but it got to be where, Cars would drop in to hear what was going on, and then I kind of would feel like, well, geez, why don't I have Ben sing on backgrounds on this, I mean, we've been playing together for 18 years, why not? I finally ended up discovering that I had 4 of the Cars on the record.
Well, you got you when you're coming down. Oh, you got you when you want to find it.
And ironically, Rick Ocasek is a guitar player, but it's probably the most synthesized of anything that any of them have done. You do have occasional guitar solos from Roland Orzabal of Tears for Fears and Steve Stevens, Billy Idol.
Yeah.
It's own guitar solos, but for the most part, it's heavily synthesized. But still, it's another quality solo album, but my favorite. Actually, probably one of my favorite synth pop instrumental albums, I say, would have to be Greg Hawkes' Niagara Falls, which came out in '83. Maybe you want like a more pop, less experimental, more melodic side of Kraftwerk and Yellow Magic Orchestra. But check out Greg Hawkes' Niagara Falls. It kind of bridges the gap between that experimental synth and then the pop space synth that you get from Italia Disco. Which, remember, I was watching the video for that, and you were like, you need to go to bed or something. Remember that?
No.
You watch it now?
Sure. Let's watch it.
Greg Hawkes video.
I do remember one night when you were just one more video, one more video, one more video.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm like, come on, it's late.
27 Shirts is the video.
Wait, we're gonna record while we watch it? Whoa, I love it already.
Yeah. Remember this? I was watching this. You told
No,
me,
how
told me
could
to get
I-
off the computer.
I don't pay attention to anything you do on the computer, babe. You could be watching porn, I wouldn't even know.
So Greg, not only does he love the latest music technology,
Okay, this is great.
but
Screw the cars, why isn't this the song?
in order to get 80 of the 80s, it sometimes helps to have lyrics, and this song doesn't have any words to it. He collects toy robots, and so you can see some of the Japanese toy robots that he's fond of in this video. So
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
It's pretty great.
the whole album.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, why can't there be
like that? Yeah.
You know what? I'm not really a musical, like instrumental type person. If there were words to that, I would jam the fuck out to that. We need to can I make up a song and sing it to that? That's a project.
Yeah, but so I don't know why Greg after '87 he quit making music. He did some Beatles covers with the ukulele, and then later
That would be interesting to hear.
And then, this is after Benjamin Orr died, unfortunately, of pancreatic cancer. I think it was like 2000 or something. It's such a shame because he was such a talented vocalist that, especially when the Cars did eventually reform. Well, first they got back together as the New Cars without Rick Ocasek, without Benjamin Orr, and rather with Todd Rundgren as the vocalist. You know Todd Rundgren?
No.
He had some like I Saw the Light and Hello It's Me, some 70s hits.
Okay.
But it's just like one of those Journey things, Journey without Steve Perry or Styx without Dennis DeYoung. But then when Rick Ocasek wanted to do another album with them, Move to This was the name of the album. It was not bad for a comeback. The thing is the Cars are never really they're great performers, but they're not really like highly pretentious to where they had to do something epic or amazing or anything like that. It's just kind of a pleasant poppy listen.
Okay.
But listening to it, I'm kind of like, hey, I've been missing the Cars.
You got that look on your face. You'd like to be in the race. You cannot hide your disgrace. You leave without a trace.
The reason why we had that confusion there with the board, there was a lot of controversy over what was going to be the top song, because the Cars is kind of like Tears for Fears. There are about 4 or 5 songs that it's just tough to find out which is the best. These are the list. I've picked 7 Cars songs, and I want to talk a little bit about each one, just a little bit.
Okay.
I swear, just a little bit. Number 7 is
Heartbeat City.
Heartbeat City is a very atmospheric song. Mutt Lange, his studio wizardry. So yeah, what does that make you think of?
I don't know.
So you can see how it's like kind of a futuristic robot being activated kind of sound, right? It kind of reminds me of the album that Mutt produced after this, Def Leppard's Hysteria, which is
hear it.
Another really well-produced album. Remember that song, Love Bites?
Love Bites, yeah.
What is at the beginning of that song? It's got this weird robot voice, and like, what the hell?
If you could live in these sights,
Joe, Love Bites. I don't know what that is.
Is that what he says?
It says something before that. I don't know what he says before that. Something about sex or something.
If you could live in these sights.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. If you know, let us know.
When you make love,
you look in the mirror.
In the mirror.
Is that what he says?
Do you look them in their eyes? What I thought he said. Do you look in the mirror?
Unfortunately, we're never going to do a Def Leppard show. But,
that's okay.
He starts out singing about when we make love, right? And then later they're singing like making love to you might drive me crazy. Well, I guess he's already crazy then if they've already done it. Right?
No, he says when you make love, do you look them in their eyes? Who do you think of? Does he look
okay.
like me?
Okay.
Not that I've heard the song before or anything.
Okay.
I think that's what he says. But anyway.
So that was Heartbeat City.
Okay. How about we move on to number 6? Good Times Roll.
It took me a long time to like Good Times Roll. This is off their first album, which came out in 78. The first 4 Cars albums were produced by Roy Thomas Baker, I think is his name. And he did the Queen albums. And he had this multi-track studio. He had like more tracks than any other producer, where you could get 42 people singing at the same time. Hence Bohemian Rhapsody, right? And so he tried the same stuff with the Cars. And when they heard the first track off their first album, Good Times Roll, and suddenly the chorus comes in like, Good Times Roll, then themselves hundreds of times over, they're like, okay, that's a little too much. You think we're not quite Queen here. But I still love it because you're not expecting it. Because it starts out like kind of like a simple minimalist rock, and then suddenly it hits in with that chorus, and then when it goes, the chords change up. A lot of car songs, they do a lot of gear shifting and the chord changes. And I think that adds an interesting element to their pop.
Must be stick shift.
Yes, right, because I'm doing it with my hand like this.
Just for the record, I think that song is way too repetitive.
Good Times Roll?
Yes.
It's not as repetitive as Shake It Up.
That is true. That is true. I will give you that.
Shake It Up I don't think has any chord changes. So.
Okay, number 5. Coming Up You.
That's off of 87's Door to Door, which is like one of the most underrated albums. Here's the story. Back when I was an 80s DJ, that was the only Cars album that I had back at the time because I was able to buy it used at the CD store for like $5. And so this guy called up and said, hey, I want to request the Cars. And I said, okay, I have Door to Door. And the guy's like, what do you mean? You just have Door to Door. That's the worst album. And he hung up on me. He was like pissed off. I think Door to Door was a good album. There's a lot of variety. It changes up a lot. You got a lot of Benjamin Moore songs, including Coming Up You, which has a really nice, quaint melody. It's a charming little song that fiddly bops around. Put you in a good mood.
I like Fiddly Bop. That makes me happy.
And that song does, Coming Up You. That should have been a big hit.
Okay, number 4 is Drive.
Yes. What do you think about Drive?
Drive is just, it's such a beautiful song. It's addictive. I can't listen to the song just once. I have to listen to it like 2 or 3 times. The singer, Benjamin Moore, is so much better. If he sang all of the Cars songs, I would probably be more of a Cars fan.
First time I heard the Heartbeat City album, my cousin, he had in his car the cassette tape player. First 4 tracks are Ricky Kasich, and then suddenly you get Drive, and like, what happened to his voice? Because I thought it was the same singer. I was really intrigued by how he's able to change it. I didn't know it was a different vocalist until I saw the video years later. It's a nice, smooth, atmospheric, very atmospheric. I mean, it's heavy on the synth. It's just booming. And you still hear it. It really stands out when you're at the grocery store.
Oh, it's such a great song.
And it comes on. You have to sing along to it. It has a very simple melody that's easy to sing to.
Accessing Rick the Classic Audio Archive.
I think if there is any one song that we think of with Ben, it's got to be Drive.
Yeah.
That is the song.
Yeah, he definitely nailed that one.
He nailed that one.
Yeah. And he nailed it probably in one take or two.
Is that right?
It's all he ever did. He just had this natural great voice,
Did it get to a point by that time that as you would write songs, you would start to think, that's Ben's going to sing that. It's going to sound amazing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Was that one that you thought that
way? Definitely Drive. I thought for sure he would sing. No question.
Yeah.
He probably would have wanted to.
Right.
He probably would have asked me if I didn't think that, but that was one for sure.
Do you remember where that song came from?
Drive? Yeah, I do actually. It started off being a song that I did on a keyboard with a little drum machine that actually had more of a kind of beat, almost a Latin-y beat, with like a sort of a keyboard pad in the background. I kind of just remember writing that. Actually, that got changed a little bit when we did the album with Mutt Lange. It got that whole other beat, doom, 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 you know, instead of the do,
right.
No, never mind. I'm just getting lost.
Rick Ocasek beatboxing, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty awesome.
I said that I'm not a Cars fan, but that song, I mean, that is a great song.
And it wraps up so well because at the end of every chorus, he's kind of like, tonight. You feel like you're a little off. And then at the very last chorus, he goes, finishes off. He's like, I'm going to wrap up this gift, send it away, and you can open it up next time.
He put it in a bubble.
Yes, he bubbleized.
Waiting for someone to pop it. Number 3. You might think.
Yes, we talked about You Might Think a lot. But, you know, interesting, the Cars, when they're first starting out, a lot of Americans thought they sounded very British. In England, the Brits hated them because they're like, you're sounding like us. We don't like you posers.
Really?
Yeah, you're posers. They just couldn't get accepted anywhere. Well, actually, they were accepted in the United States. You Might Think was a top 10 hit in the States, rightfully so, because it's so damn catchy. And it was like 88 in Britain.
Really surprising.
It is. Brits usually have a good taste, but
yeah,
don't know what's up with that.
Okay, number 2. Number 2 is Hello Again.
Which we talked about. That's number 49 song on our countdown.
Yes.
It was really tough to pick that. We even talked about the Hello Again video.
I don't remember it.
As Andy Warhol supposedly directed it.
Oh, yeah.
He was really the conceptual director. Andy Warhol got his friend and was like, I'll let you kind of do the director work. I'm just going to hang out here by the bar, bring some weirdos from New York City in and do a little stupid, it was like an awkward party.
So it's not really worth mentioning.
It's very disappointing because it's such an awesome song, but the video is just some people looking really bored hanging out at the party. I mean, they're at the end. Rick is doing a telephone operator. Remember telephone operators?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Back in the day when you had, they did switchboards.
I don't think I could get past the mullet, but I was just stuck in mullet land.
I think Andy Warhol is just, I don't get him. When I was in Florence, Italy, and you have all these free museums, they had an Andy Warhol museum there, which I think was just on a temporary exhibit. I can see all these great works of art, but I paid a lot of liras to get in that freaking Andy Warhol exhibit. And all it was just, he just took pictures and traced them and colored them in different, like he'd take a picture of Mickey Mouse and just color and color them in different colors. I just didn't get it. So
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1. Moving in Stereo.
This came out in the 70s, but I mean, I think this would be like one of my top 10 songs of all time, probably. Listening to it, came out in 78.
I haven't heard the song.
You never remember that CD I made Rock Your Balls Off back when we were first starting dating? And I put
I do, but I don't remember the song. If you sang it or I heard a clip of it, I would probably remember it. But off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
Moving in stereo. Okay, I'm going to sing it right now. See, moving in stereo, looking for your shoes. It's all inside you. It uses stereo. He moves from one speaker to the next.
I've probably passed that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's heavy and it's kind of spooky and it sounds like a stalker. Kind of, he's creeping out and he's getting inside your head and it's got weird sound effects and so that's
kind of weird.
It's one of my favorite songs ever. Too bad I couldn't put in the 80 of the 80s countdown.
Well, I'll have to give it a listen.
Wait, did you see Fast Times at Ridgemont High? The scene with Phoebe Cates around the pool?
Yeah.
She came out to that song Moving in Stereo.
Oh.
And she shows her boobs.
I think I kind of remember that.
Hi, Brad. You know how cute I always thought you were.
I say it's time we put the car in drive and talk about something else.
Whoa. Transition. Do you want to do a commercial break?
Sure.
Okay.
of the 80s. We'll be back in a moment. Yay.
Chick realizes women come in all shapes and sizes. That's why jeans by are proportioned to fit from leg to waist, hip to hip. Whether you're a sweet petite, long and lean, or in between.
Don't you know?
Chick's got your jeans.
Chick jeans.
In 27 sizes, because Chick realizes that jeans should come in all shapes and sizes. Get a free Chick Hobo bag with purchase.
I love commercials. Not really, but you need to go and do our survey at 80ofthe80s.com. We would really, really, really appreciate it. We just kind of want to know a little bit more about our listeners, what you guys think, and I myself would love to do more podcasts, so do our survey. Was that good?
Yes.
Or should I do it again? Should I like it on the floor and beg or something? They wouldn't know that.
They wouldn't know that you're on the floor or not.
Okay.
So, yeah. That works.
Fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away to a flavor fantasy, bubblicious. Bubble has the ultimate flavor. Timeless space fills your mind. Flavor deep, flavor wide. Your mouth can't resist it, nor can your mind. Come on a funky flavor ride. Flavor that blows you away. It's your flavor fantasy. Bubblicious has the ultimate flavor. It's got the taste you just can't resist. Bubblicious.
The loud morning in small town cries. You gotta get away.
We've already talked about Depeche Mode, so we don't have much left to talk about in this
We
show.
always talk about Depeche Mode.
Well, one thing I want to talk about is I've recently found out about another podcast that has they talk about 80s music, but they talk about 80s movies and
Just the 80s in general.
other stuff, other pop culture phenomena from back in the day. Stuck in the 80s podcast.
That's you, man.
Yes. That is me too, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like now you know what memberies are, or
Memberberries.
Memberberries. Now that you've seen it.
Oh, and remember Bionic Man?
Oh, I remember.
I loved Bionic Man.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, that's very much me. Yeah.
Remember Chewbacca again? Oh, I love to remember Chewbacca. Hey.
Remember Depeche Mode? Remember the Cars?
Remember?
Remember?
So, like, I was listening to it, and they went on. There's the 80s cruise.
Yeah.
And
jealous.
Right. They got to rub elbows, like literally sometimes.
They didn't rub anything else.
A lot of my idols, not Billy Idol, but
that would be epic.
like Tom Bailey of Depeche Mode, and Debbie Gibson was there, and then they were talking about what?
Tom Bailey of Depeche Mode.
Oh, sorry, I got the mode on the mind.
Me too.
Tom Bailey, the Thompson Twins.
The hair, as I like to
The
call
hair,
him.
right? Yeah. So you have a thing about hair.
Yeah, he has the hair.
The hair.
Yeah,
Yes. You have to listen. They'll talk about like all the
Yeah. We're
men
not going to
with their
spoil it.
hats
Yeah, you
and
guys
stuff.
just listen to him.
But and then they said that next year they are going to have Mike and the Mechanics.
Oh, that's worth it.
Yes, which I mean, Mike Rutherford. If I could even touch a hair on his elbow,
It's getting a little
or in his
graphic.
beard, then that trip would have been worth. No, sorry. I'm a huge Genesis fan. So have Mike and the Mechanics there. That would be something else. But they said that they did trivia every night. And one night it was Star Trek trivia, and they got put on the same team as Information Society.
I want to know.
Right, pure energy. You know, that's Spock going pure energy.
Oh my God,
This
yeah.
is the second time we mentioned Spock. Should have been our secret
Wow,
word
I
of
know,
the week.
really?
But the best performance, they said, was Terry Nunn of Berlin.
Really?
Right, so I'm going to play a clip of them talking about how awesome her performance was.
Terry Nunn in Berlin were scheduled for an 11:15 p.m. set in the main showroom.
Right.
And that's one of the things I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it fills up.
Yeah, and by the time it starts, you're like, oh, maybe I should just go to bed.
Yeah,
it's really
kinda
late.
tired. We got to be up early for trivia. And then she comes out, and they just blow the lid off the ship.
It was ridiculous. It was the most energy I've ever seen on this cruise this year or last.
She opens with, was it No More Words, Metro, and Masquerade. Like
yeah.
3 giant hits.
Just boom, boom,
boom,
boom.
boom.
It's like hotter.
And it's
not hottest because we still got a ways to go. But
and it's loud, and then she's just she's spinning
place is going
around.
bananas.
Everyone's on their feet. I mean, after every song, it's like a roar from the crowd. It's the loudest the ship has been. Either cruise that we've been on. Gosh, she did some deep cuts from the first album.
Yeah, from Pleasure Victim. She did Pleasure Victim actually.
Yeah, and she did a tune off their most recent album, which sounded great, by the way.
Her voice is so strong. I mean,
yes.
all due respect to the beloved 80s artists that are on the band, but her voice was the strongest I've heard so far.
Yeah. And God, I'm trying to think. It goes. They played Dancing in Berlin, and then a whole bunch of people got on stage and got to dance with them. And then what? So they roll through the set. They're getting ready to close. They play. Oh man, they close with Take My Breath Away.
Right? And some people left. I found out today. They're like, oh, that's it, and so they drifted out of the theater. And I'm sorry, those people missed the signature moment of that set. Terry Nunn comes back out and says, okay, we're going to give you another one. This is my favorite religious song.
We're all kind of looking at each other like,
huh?
Wow, she's really not going to...
Like, I'm not aligning anything in their catalog with that, because they've already done Sex, I'm a...
Yeah.
Which is, let's face it, that's a religious experience when you're 15 years old and you hear that for the first time.
That might have been what they played right before Take My Breath Away.
I think so.
So we're like, well, I don't know what this is going to be, and it's friggin' AC/DC's Highway to Hell.
And it was amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord. My whole body was covered with goosebumps. I mean, my voice, I don't know, you can tell today, my voice is just shot because I was just bellowing.
Oh God. And then Brad turns around afterwards. He goes, I don't want them to play another song. I don't want them to play another song. I want to go and be in this moment forever.
So that sounded really cool. You know, I would love to do that.
A sea monster ate my ice cream. A sea monster ate my ice cream. Ah!
You know, talk about 80s nostalgia stuff is probably one of my favorite cartoons ever, DuckTales.
A sea monster ate my ice cream. A sea monster ate my ice cream.
Yeah.
I heard that's making a comeback now. They're going to reboot that.
They are. They're going to reboot it.
I don't know how it's going to be.
I'm nervous about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A lot of reboots are just horrific. Terrible. I don't even know if I can really think of a reboot that's actually any good. Can you?
The Danger Mouse.
Okay,
cartoon.
Danger
You're talking
Mouse.
about a cartoon.
Well, and then Pee-wee came back and did a movie, and his movie was pretty
okay.
good. I mean,
the newer Star Wars movies are okay.
they're okay.
Not that Rogue One, that was boring, but
I disagree with you. I thought Rogue One was pretty
well,
good.
the first 2/3 were boring.
The first third, I thought. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. They're rebooting a lot of things, not just DuckTales. Oh, I saw, is it Voltron? Who else?
Thundercats.
I saw a list recently.
Yeah.
And Dungeons and Dragons was the one that I remembered. They're rebooting that.
Actually, like the cartoon?
Yeah.
That could have potential.
That
'cause
could definitely have
the
potential.
first cartoon was didn't really have much as far as storyline. It was just
Yeah.
them fighting against monsters mostly. The DuckTales...
A sea monster ate my ice cream. A sea monster ate my ice cream. Ooh. A sea monster ate my ice cream.
did show some screenshots. I'm actually more of a fan of the comic books by Carl Barks. They used a lot of the plot lines for the DuckTales plots, but they changed the look of Scrooge. He's wearing blue, and the cartoon, well, in the comic books, he's wearing red. Well, now the teaser shots show him wearing red again. Also, you have Donald Duck is back in the mix. Now, Donald Duck hardly ever appeared in DuckTales.
Yeah.
But he was very prevalent in the comic books, and it looks like they're bringing him back.
Good.
Now, they're bringing back Webby and Launchpad, which weren't in the comic books. I'm not too crazy about those characters. I know people...
I'm cool with Launchpad's
okay.
Launchpad is okay, but Webby, I wanted
She
to
was freaking
strangle
annoying.
her.
Yes, I know. They wanted to appeal to
I
girls.
don't give a crap.
so-
I'm a girl. She didn't
Yeah.
appeal to me. I wanted to kill her.
She was wearing pink. You know, I don't know about Miss Beathley. Hopefully not. Bubba Duck, remember him?
He's a rocker from the past. Proven rock and roll will last. He's a cave duck with rhythm. It's a rock, so he can hit 'em. The original
That guy with the Tarzan kid with the duck. But my favorite addition that wasn't in the comic books was Fenton Crackshell, Scrooge's accountant who turned into Gizmo Duck. Remember him?
No.
You don't remember him?
How can I not remember? I'm trying.
He was kind of like Darkwing Duck kind of character.
Oh, I love Darkwing Duck.
Oh, yeah. Well, see...
I know you don't, but...
Fenton was kind of like an awkward, nerdy guy, and then he gets in his Gizmo Duck robo suit, and he can do superhero things. But
Oh, no, I do remember.
Yeah.
Okay, it just came to me.
yeah,
Yes.
he's like a robot.
Yes.
He's kind of like a RoboCop
Okay.
influence. So I hope they bring him back, but we'll see.
I'm holding out hope, but
We'll see. But
my hopes are not high.
if nothing else, a lot of the main storylines in the comic books were about exploring ancient cultures and finding treasures, and the Indiana Jones kind of experience. So maybe we'll have
We'll
some of
see
that.
what happens, man.
Yes. Before we go, we want to remind you.
For the 5,000th time about the stupid survey.
Fill out the survey.
And I don't want to be one of those podcast people that's just harassing our listeners about do this, donate us money, and da 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 da.
But I think that's a small price to pay for a free podcast, right?
Well, if people really like us and they want us to do more podcasts, then yes, we'll need
Yeah.
to make some money.
Yeah.
It's just that it's a simple
That's
truth.
why the survey.
It's a
Let's not
simple
beat around the
truth.
bush.
I'm not going to,
Yeah.
We enjoy doing it. We do it for fun, but
I'd like to buy a new
we
microphone.
get enough listeners to
Or a
where
microphone. Actually, this is a secret. We don't have a microphone for the show.
We
record
don't.
this without a microphone.
Yeah.
From our minds. Don't tell
them
them our
the
secret.
Don't tell them.
Okay, survey is at beam.2/80 survey
Or just go to 80ofthe80s.com
and look for the link.
and say if you have any trouble finding it, you can just email us.
Yeah.
There was one thing that I wanted to say about
Yeah, let's say it.
Hello Again, how it makes me think of Bill and Ted.
Again.
Yes.
Oh.
No, I wish I had said this earlier when we were talking about the song, but
We could talk about
you
it.
know how it's kind of echoey? You know there's that part in Bill and Ted. Everything is Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Sorry.
If you listen to our last podcast, we talked about Bill and Ted Bogus Journey
I can't
again,
help it. I can't
which is
help
from
it.
'91. It's not even '80s.
Well, it makes sense because it's kind of echoey, the beginning of the
Yes.
song,
Mhm.
and then there's that scene in Bogus Journey when, it's not really a scene. I guess it's after they die. Their voices are just very echoey. So when I hear that song, it makes me think of that.
I wonder how they do that.
I don't know.
Maybe you have to kill yourself.
I'm not going to try that. Are you? I mean, if I could play Twister with death,
Yeah.
I might do it.
Actually, our son, remember when he asked, like, what happens after you die? We showed him that movie. Go around San Dimas as ghosts and possessing
Yeah.
people. And
That's it. That's what happens.
I hope this works. Working The Exorcist 1 and 3.
But no, we did not tell our son that.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Remember that one?
You told him that? I would not
Yes,
have
I
let that
did.
pass. Why would I let you say that to our son?
Because then he won't be afraid of death. He'll think it's fun.
Being chased around by the Grim Reaper is fun? Is that your idea of fun?
He's a cool Reaper.
Okay, that is true.
He's
but
a fun Reaper who likes to play games.
that is true. We hope you enjoyed the 80 of the 80s podcast, a proud member of the Throwback Network. To support our show, please leave review at iTunes. You can also download more episodes at TuneIn, Stitcher, or on our website, 80ofthe80s.com. And we also want to be your Facebook friend. Until the next song, this is AK-47 thanking you for your power play. Let's do it again. I'm like, no flipping way, buddy.
We can just start with like, hello again.
You have to go, hello.
Hello.
Again.
Hello.
Like that.
Hello.
You sing.
Hello. I have to do the.
You sound like a dying old.
I'm doing the stereo effect, right? Just like moving the stereo. Hello. Hello. I sound like I'm dead, right? I'm feeling dead. I'm.
Oh my god. You sound like an old man.
I'm going to sound like that one of these days. I just got to get you ready for it, you know?
And have no fucking idea who these people are, what their songs are, nothing. These people are getting seats. They're getting seats. Here I am, exclusive access. Apparently I'm group number 2 to purchase tickets. And what happens? Fucking lawn seats. They've only been on sale for an hour, and you're going to sit here and tell me that they've sold out of all their seats. And the options that they're giving me, $450 tickets? $450 tickets. Oh boy, but I didn't click on it fast enough, because if I had clicked on it, I would have gotten front row tickets. Oh, well shit, now all the seats are gone. You know what they fucking do? They probably sit there and see that you click on it, and then you're like, well, wait a second, that's too expensive. You close out of it. You go back, you sign in again, and you think maybe I'll get cheaper tickets. You go to the next option, $350 tickets. Well, that's a little too steep for me too, so you close out of that one. They probably realize that you're not going to spend a whole lot of money, so they're just going to say a big fuck you and give you lawn tickets is what they're going to do. Because that's what they just did to me. 1 hour they've been on sale. 1 hour. 1 hour. Lawn tickets.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
No, I'm just telling you, you know what? I'm a Depeche Mode fan, but this is pissing me off because what they did was, on Facebook, they did this thing. Are you recording this?
Yeah, I guess it's
I'm
great.
sorry.
It's perfect.
Okay, on Facebook, they did this thing where they're like, okay, we're going to go on tour. This is going to be fantastic. They get the fans all excited. Now, the real fans, not these half-ass shit doodles that are going to go sit in one of my damn seats. But they tell you, sign up to our email list. We're going to let you know. You are going to get exclusive access to when we come to the States. You're going to be the first to know, right? Well, I was already on their mailing list because I'm a real fan. And do you think they emailed us and let us know the tour dates first? No, they posted that shit on Facebook. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry was able to get in line before me to get tickets, okay? Now here I am, willing to drive hours to go see them, willing to pay a lot of money, $450 a ticket. No, I'm not willing to pay that. Because after rereading it, it doesn't even guarantee you that you're going to get to meet the band. I'm sorry, but if I spend $450 a ticket, you guys better give me a blowjob. You know what I'm saying? I'm so mad. But the whole thing, I understand they're trying not to do, they don't want scalpers. I get that. But come on, the only ticket options they even gave me when I first signed on here were $450, $350. Oh, the $250 ticket, that started to look kind of cheap after a while, I have to tell you, because, you know, that's cheaper than the other ones. But then you realize, oh, well, there are lawn seats. I don't want to sit in the lawn. I bought their album. I mean, I signed up for this in advance so I could get a seat.
It could be a crappy album, too.
You know what? Depeche Mode, fuck you. I can't believe I said that, but I'm pissed.
You want me? That would be like
I'm
the
just
last
saying.
line.
No, I'm just saying this is pissing me off. This pisses me off. I've gone through crap to try to get these tickets, and they're giving me lawn seats. And now the sucky thing is, they make it seem like if you don't buy those lawn seats right then and there, you are not going to be able to see them because that's your last chance. That's your best available ticket, lawn seats, right? So you buy them. Well, then you know what they say? You can't go back in and try to rebuy more tickets because you can only use the damn code they gave you one time. One time. So now what I'm going to do is my tricky little ass is going to wait until it goes on to the general public, and then I'm going to go in there and try to bet you buy tickets, and I bet you $10 million seats will be available when I go. And then let me tell you, this recording, whatever you're recording right now, is going to go to whoever fucking sucks Depeche Mode's dicks, because they're trying to weed out the scalpers and all that, but in the process they're pissing off people. They're pissing off fans.
Where's the revolution?